Good morning. Welcome to this Monday, May 15th Board of Commissioners meeting. The first item of business, as always, is our public comment for anyone who is not on the agenda. Do we have any public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move right on. First up is Chris Wheatley with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert. And I don't see Chris, but I believe Ron's here, right? So, anyone from BF&S here to present on this? No? Okay. Well, maybe Chris will show up here. So we'll move on to our next item, which would be Zach Klutz, who has a resolution 2023-002, which is the authorization of the execution of a lease agreement and ratifying and affirming certain action of this county council. So I'll allow you to kind of give us a bigger overview of it, especially for the board. It's been a few months since we've kind of talked about the details as well as the public, if you could, Zach.
Sure. Good morning, Commissioner. Zach Klutz with the Taft Law Firm, and we're serving as bond counsel with respect to this financing that's going to be used for the courthouse renovation and the annex building. By way of background, on May 1st, the Clinton County Building Corp met and reviewed the lease and authorized the lease and actually executed the lease on behalf of the Building Corp. On May 9th, the County Council met and held the statutorily required public hearing on the lease, made certain determinations, the most important that the lease rentals were fair and reasonable, and authorized the forwarding of the lease to this body for execution. So what we're really here today is to ratify a lot of the findings that the County Council made at their May 9th meeting, and I'll walk you through those. They're laid out specifically in the resolution 2023-02. It's a ratification of the findings by the council that the lease rental payments under the lease are fair and reasonable, and it authorizes the execution of the lease, and we would ask that you sign this today if this resolution passes. If it is executed, we'll then publish notice of the execution of the lease, which will start a 30-day objection period. And then finally, the one item that that is new to this, that's not a ratification of what the council did, but is an approval by this board, is you actually approving the sale and transfer of the parcels from the county to the Building Corp. The Building Corp will actually be the record owner during the lease term, and then those will revert back to the county when the lease is done. This also finally ratifies and affirms the council's pledge of property tax dollars to pay for the lease rental payments under the bond. So that's in essence what this resolution 2023-02 does. If it's approved, I'd like to stick around and then have the lease executed at the end of the meeting if we could. Okay. So I'm happy to answer any questions as well.
You covered it for me. Thanks, Zach.
Okay. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-02.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2023-02, resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Clinton County, Indiana, authorizing the execution of a lease agreement and ratifying and affirming certain actions of the County Council of Clinton County.
I would like to second that.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0 for the resolution.
Okay, thanks.
Next up is opening of the road resurfacing bids, and I believe I'll turn it over to Tom. He has those, sir.
Absolutely. This will be for the 2023 East Kelly Road from Mass Road to US 421.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
This first one's from Reeve Riley. Total bid amount is $1 million. I'll write these down too. $1,595,765.85. This next one is Midwest Paving. Midwest Paving total bid amount $1,573,915.30. $0.30. This one. All right, the next one is from E&B Paving. Bid amount $1,828,855.55. All right, this one is from DC Construction Services. Total bid amount $1,612,934.85. Next one's Milestone. Bid amount for Milestone would be $1,496,250 even. This one would be from Central Paving. Central Paving's $1,478,717.13. All right, looks like the last one is going to be from Howard Companies. All right, total amount is $1,549,946.45. I believe that is all.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, traditionally, we take them under advisement, talk it over with Rick, so I'll entertain a motion to do that unless you gentlemen have another idea.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0. We'll take those bids under advisement and make an announcement at our next meeting. Okay. Next up is Rick Campbell with a highway update. Do you have Chris's stuff?
Morning. Just real quick, we're done spreading gravel. My Central Paving came and shot our calcium on our gravel roads. Supposedly, after the Memorial Day, they'll be here to start chip sealing, or maybe sooner. And that's about all I have right now.
Okay. Question?
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
No. Thanks,
All right.
Rick.
Thank you, Rick. Liz is not going to be here this morning, so we will skip area plan update. But I'll circle back around. Chris hasn't shown up, but I think I'm familiar enough with the items that he was going to present that we can go through them. Okay. So we have, first one is the vouchers for the acquisition of the right-of-way property from Don Good, and so they accepted the appraised offer. So now it's on us to, I guess, make the motion to accept their acceptance. So let's see, we have. There's one for the north side of the intersection, and then there's one for the south side of the intersection for Don Good. So, and then we also, if you recall, we have the one from Wayne Doak as well. So I guess I'll entertain, we'll do it as two, but I'll entertain a motion to accept the voucher for the appraised value for Don Good's right-of-way acquisition, and then a second motion to accept the voucher for Wayne Doak's right-of-way acquisition.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the right-of-way acquisition from Mr. Good.
And I'll second that.
Okay, motion carries 3-0.
Okay, and then I'll make a motion to accept the right-of-way acquisition from Mr. Wayne Doak.
And second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. And the second part of it for the Good property is we have an MOU that Tom worked on here with the Goods that for the north side of their property, we're essentially putting in a temporary drive because it's currently just a dilapidated building, but that we will work with them in the future to develop a driveway for whatever business comes there. But at this point, it doesn't make any sense in putting a permanent drive if you don't know what the business is going to be, because if it's Starbucks, for example, it has different needs than a hotel in terms of access points. So there's no financial commitment, nothing binding other than just saying that whoever is in the position whenever that time comes will try and work with them to develop better access. So I'll entertain a motion for that MOU.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Okay, we will move on to old business, and the first item we have is, it seems like it was a long time ago to some of us, and I'm sure others that are dealing with it daily, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but with the damage that we had with the tornado at the end of March, there's originally thought that we didn't have to do an emergency declaration, but after some more conversation and talking with EMA and FEMA, we do have to do an emergency declaration. And so this was supposed to be on our agenda at our last meeting, which would have been better with the timing, but it allowed FEMA to utilize our facilities to have people come in there with the SBA and to work through all the disaster relief. So this is just kind of the authority for us to declare emergency declaration. So I'll entertain a motion that that we accept that Clinton County had an emergency of declaration.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the emergency declaration.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0. The next item is our ADA proposals. We had this at our last meeting we had, which was at the airport. We had two proposals to update our ADA requirements. The first one was from DLZ for a cost of $27,400. The second one was from Intact for a cost of $26,000. When comparing the two apples to apples quotes as best as possible. So I guess I'll open it up for some discussion or thoughts on what direction we would like to go with these.
I would defer to our ADA coordinator, Jerry Sexton, for her input on which way you think we should go.
I really like Intact.
Okay. Makes sense to me. They kind of helped us out when we were in a, right?
Yeah,
When we were
he
kind
did.
of
Came
in a
in.
lurch, yep.
He did.
So,
And he's local.
Right.
And I think he'll
Yep.
give us the attention we need to become more compliant.
Okay.
So I'm fully supportive of
All right.
that option.
I too.
all right, I'll make a motion to approve the proposal from Intact to update our ADA.
Then I'd second
Plan.
it.
Motion carries 3-0. Next item is a change order, or sorry, not a change order, I apologize. A pay app from McGuire Iron for the water tower. And this should be, should only have one more. The generator is installed. I believe they've went through the water flushing test, so the only items left is the money in contingency to kind of get everything tidied up at the end, I believe.
Okay.
So, this payment's for $33,114.61. So
Okay.
I will entertain a motion to approve the pay app
So
number
moved.
15.
Second.
Okay. All right, motion carries 3-0. Next item is we have the contract for the county mowing services. I believe Commissioner Ewitz had been working on this, and it is for the county and Platinum Landscaping. Contract is the same as it's been in the past, other than changing the dates and terms. So entertain a motion to accept the county mowing contract with Platinum Landscaping.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0. Next item is the Paul Philippi quarterly report, which is for us to approve and accept the federal CARES money, which is in the amount of $36,405. Do I have a motion to?
You do.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Motion carries 3-0. On new business, our first item is envoy change order, which I believe really should not be called a change order. It's more of an amendment. This is to start the demolition process of the annex, which, if executed, will start on May 22nd, I believe. We've already started putting up the fencing. And so as before, the change order is happening because we don't have the full GMP. Have not signed that contract yet, which will be here late June, 1st of July. So we have to execute a change order to our current agreement that we do have with them to cover the cost of the demolition, which ultimately in the end, when we get the GMP, all of our change orders will be taken out of that, and so this adds up to the total. And regardless, as we did this morning, council's already essentially locked us into a GMP because they're bonding and financing only so much money, so we don't really have any wiggle room either way. So we kind of know what the GMP is without officially knowing what it is. So this is for the demolition, and it is for $456,497. Entertain a motion or question.
Make a motion to approve the change order from Envoy for demolition to commence on May 22nd.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0. Okay. Our next item is our fuel contract amendment, which is up for discussion. So as we've done in the past, we have been proactive multiple times in amending our contract to lock in fuel in the future so that we set those prices, and we're kind of, that's a fixed cost going into budget season for council as well as the department heads. And so we've been working with Co-Alliance and kind of watching the markets and seeing what happens, and we're never gonna time it perfectly to catch it right at the valley, but our job is to kind of limit our exposure and risk the best as possible. And so we have been given prices updated this morning that we can lock in our fuel needs for the 2024 year of gasoline at $2.67 and our road diesel or on-road diesel at $2.92. So based on our volume, which would be 80,000 gallons of gasoline, 110,000 of diesel fuel, that would represent close to $180,000 savings in our fuel budget for 24 versus 23, if we decided to make that motion. So I guess I'll open it up for thoughts, questions, comments on that.
I have none.
Okay.
No, I think it's a
think we
wise
gotta do it.
decision. We've had success doing this in the past,
Yeah.
and I see no reason to continue.
Okay.
I see no reason not to continue.
I knew what you meant. So with that, then I'll entertain a motion to amend our contract, and we can let Co-Alliance know we're accepting those prices.
So moved.
And second.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries 3-0. We'll get that information out to the department heads. But again, gasoline's $2.67, the on-road diesel is $2.92. Those numbers don't include the taxes. That's strictly the fuel prices. So when doing your budgeting, you'll have to account for the SET tax and the FET tax. Okay, we have two sign placement requests. The first one from Red Barn Summer Theater. It is a sign for their seasonal summer series. They would like two signs on the northeast, one on the northeast, one on the southeast corner, starting on the 20th of May and running through July 10th. We have
Motion to approve.
okay.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. The second one is from the city of Frankfurt, and it's for the Prairie Creek Park Summer Concert Series. It'll list, so it's from May now through September, the corner of Jackson and Clinton, and corner of Main and Washington, signed to show the series of the concerts that will be at Prairie Creek. So, any
Motion to
questions?
approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on both of those for sign placements. All right, department heads. Have any department heads? Renee? Good morning.
After over a year, InDigital should be arriving this morning for our new telephone hardware refresh. So that will be these next few days. And I appreciate all of Tim's work in all of this as well, because there's also changes going on with the sheriff's office phone in the building. And so it's kind of all coming together at once. So that's a good thing. Just a heads up. So when our phone system is installed, we are going to go to a phone tree for all of our admin lines that come into dispatch. So the first one will be for dispatch, requesting any response from police, fire, EMS. We will also have transfers for sheriff's admin in the jail, as well as city police admin. So that is something that we've never had before, so we are going to implement that as well. So, the only other thing, Sheriff's Office did a press release Thursday, and I'm gonna also do a recognition, here soon with one of our dispatchers, but, we took a 911 call of a male, unresponsive, not breathing, and again, truly, dispatch is the first responder. Brandon Clark took that 911 call, immediately asked the caller if he knew CPR. He did not. Brandon offered to provide those instructions. Mackey gave 6 minutes of CPR instructions to the caller prior to Seth Kirkendall and Sergeant Pelling arriving on scene. So I think that's a huge, 6 minutes of no CPR, even with them getting there within minutes. I think this definitely, may have definitely saved this gentleman's life. I don't know an update for sure. I think maybe Stephen or Ashley has an update, but that's huge. That's huge. And so I listened to the recording as well, and you got to start. It's got to start immediately. And I think this gentleman saw him collapse. The other thing we do, any of our unresponsives, we do a simulcast dispatch of police, fire, and EMS. So, yes, it's really a medical call, but we also, any of our unresponsives, we also dispatch law enforcement, whether it's in the city or county, because, they could be minutes away, maybe closer. So, we did do that. So I wanted to recognize Brandon, and I will be doing something for him regarding that.
Well, tell him thank you from us for his service
Well done.
and
Yeah,
just
all the way
acting
around.
quickly.
It was all the way around, and
we've
that
talked
was
about before, in your position as a dispatcher, that reactionary time is so important.
Yes.
Because you got to be able to quick think.
And those are our protocols that we always follow. A lot of times we don't know, we don't know the outcome. And, I hope I hope this gentleman has a good outcome,
Yeah.
you know, but, you know, unfortunately, we do CPR instructions a lot. And, so, like I said, a lot of times we don't know the outcome, so. But other than that, I don't have anything unless you have anything for me.
Well done.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
Renee.
Anyone else? Steven?
I'll just start by saying great job to Renee and her dispatcher teams, the bystander that provided CPR, the sheriff's office, and also Forest Volunteer Fire Department. It was a collective effort, and hopefully a positive outcome will be the result. I just want to give an update. The paramedic program, if everything goes according to plan this week, all necessary paperwork will be submitted. So we're continuing to chip away at that. We got approval from COAMPS for all of the staff members that will be involved with the program. So still making headway on that. I keep saying we're really close. It's just a really slow process. I'm learning that every day. And then we have a couple vacancies for paramedic positions that developed over the last few months. We have several applicants at this time, so we'll be doing interviews, behavioral, clinical, and hoping to fill those voids over the next couple of months. So otherwise, you'll see me on the trucks a little bit for the next couple months trying to fill some spots. So, and there's a third thing. I forget though.
So when's your anticipated date of launch of the program?
Hopefully August or September
Okay.
would be ideal.
Okay.
So
And it's how many month again? Just remind me.
say that one more
How
time.
many month is the program?
15 months.
15 month. That's what I. Okay.
So getting closer.
Good.
Oh, I remember what I was going to share. Sorry. We are working towards an initiative to become one of the first ground EMS ambulance services in the state of Indiana to be carrying a blood product. So we're evaluating whole blood products, plasma, PRBCs, and trying to evaluate what would be best for our service. But our medical director is supportive of the plan, and so we're trying to initiate those steps and move forward with that. So it'll be a great benefit for our community for both medical and traumatic in origin.
So how would you utilize those? Like, just give me an example, not the details, but kind of a high level.
So when we are presented with a patient who has low blood volume, the best thing that we can give them is blood.
Gotcha.
And so what most all ambulance services in the state of Indiana currently carry is it's called normal saline, but really it's kind of we nickname it pasta water because it's just salt water. And so that does not enable an appropriate volume resuscitative strategy, whereas blood products do.
Okay.
So if they're losing something, we should be giving that same thing back in return.
Makes sense.
So
right.
hopefully a lot of data is showing decreases in mortality with early implementation of it. So we're hopeful to pioneer that here in the state of Indiana.
Just the saline or salt water is essentially a Band-Aid until you get to the hospital, and now you'll be able to supply it at an earlier time, hopefully.
Correct.
Yep, makes sense. Okay.
So we've bought the fridge for it. That should be delivered in a few weeks, and then it's just coordinating with different companies that distribute the product and trying to figure that out. So
Okay.
obviously we don't want to be wasteful of such a precious
Yeah.
resource. So
So I mean, there's several different blood types, so you have to carry.
it'll be either O negative or O positive
Okay.
if it's whole blood. And then there's an antigen with the O positive blood. It's RH positive, and they'll just get it's called Rogam at the hospital. They'll treat it
I
with
was
that.
curious. That's
But-
very interesting. Awesome.
So
will you have it on all the trucks?
we'll have one.
One? Okay.
One unit,
That's
and
what-
then
you said
we'll.
one refrigerator coming. So
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah. So we'll have one unit, and we're going to figure out how to distribute it most effectively to make sure Medic 3 and Medic 4 have access to that resource. I was kind of talking about it with Alan Dunn the other day and trying to figure out how to implement the chase vehicle to be able to kind of nickname it the Bloodmobile and make sure it can distribute that blood product when needed. So
it's a good idea. I'm
Thanks.
excited to get it implemented.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
thanks.
Yeah, good job.
Any other department heads?
Sure, that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, I finally have estimates. I just have one copy, and that's on the
Oh.
air handlers that on fire. There's 3 of them in there. And I haven't really looked through them, so let me know what you want to do with those. Also, we have a vehicle that's coming in, just to keep you up to date and in the loop. I think we ordered it last October, so we kind of played the, is it in, is it in, is it in? So we finally got that in. It's one of the transport vehicles. It'll be paid for by the misdemeanor fund. So we'll get that through the council on an appropriation, just to let you know. Vehicles are still on, maybe delivered in August, as far as the sheriff's office patrol vehicles, so that's really where we're at. Really all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Sounds like a wait and see game on the
It
vehicle.
is a wait and see on the vehicles. You just, we ordered it, you're gonna, 8 weeks, we'll have it in 8 weeks, so 8 weeks turn into several months, and so we don't get excited about it, but, as far as the fleet goes, so, we just keep our pool vehicles and keep them running.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll look these over and.
Okay, yeah, just let me know,
Okay.
and, or you can contact them direct, whatever, but you can call me if you need anything or stop by and visit. And I was looking at the jail assessment that we had done in '21, and it definitely, the air handlers were a part of it on the, what they call the red line of immediate address, so out of those air handlers, moving that air is, if we don't have it, they're already at a buildup of CO2 inside the building, and especially with the confined spaces that we are, we're obligated to get air moving as quickly as possible. So that, if that helps answer some questions, because I know that we have, in the assessment itself, it explains it, all the difficulties we have with the handlers and the actuators, things like that. So just a part of it. So I'm going to read the rest of it again and see what's going to happen next. So maybe we can keep
Well,
ahead of it.
So I guess in my mind, when we had talked about it, or when the issue happened, I thought this number would be a lot larger than
No.
the estimate.
I think it's, well, and basically what it was is basically 2 wires. The biggest thing was getting it tracked down to find out why the electrical fire occurred, and finding out that it's in the conduit down underneath the, I don't know how thick that concrete is down there, but so they rerouted it and got power to the handlers with a new power source, new power location. So this is to finish up that initial, and I haven't received a bill yet from Congleton Electric, but I'm going to guess probably in the same area as that, $5,000 to $8,000 on the emergency repair, and then to encase it in conduit and do the finishing of it is obviously listed on there. I am thinking, what is it, $4,900 to about $5,200.
Yeah.
Is all the
Yep.
estimates. They're all pretty close. So,
Okay.
could have been worse, but I'm happy it's not.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other department heads? Okay. Seeing the commissioner reports.
I don't have anything, Bob.
I have nothing.
You have nothing? One thing I guess I would say is just wanted to congratulate our counterparts in the city that won their elections, or primary elections, and we've had good working relationship with the ones that have been in office, and look forward to continuing to work with them forward. So with that, I'll move on to claims. And I'll say bear with me because I have a long list since we've had a couple weeks since our last meeting here. So we have claims dated April 21st in the amount of $13,536.79. Claims dated April 28th in the amount of $21,343.52. Claims dated May 5th in the amount of $29,685.65. Claims dated May 12th in the amount of $34,175.80. Biweekly claims dated May 1st in the amount of $412,386.67. Biweekly claims dated May 15th in the amount of $495,254.19. Court claims dated May 1st in the amount of $22,350.99. Court claims dated May 15th in the amount of $65,933.85. And election claims dated May 15th in the amount of $10,292.84. So if anyone wants to repeat those back, go ahead.
Motion to approve claims.
All right. Motion carries 3-0. We have payroll dated April 7th in the amount of $497,356.33. We have Board of Health payroll for the same date for $784.44. And Community Correction payroll for the same date in the amount of $8,000. Yep, and that is all.
Motion to approve payroll.
And second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 to approve payroll. Lastly, we have minutes from our regular meeting on April 18th that I'll entertain a motion for. And then we have joint executive session, but I caught an error, so we'll probably need to table those because it showed I was present when I was not present.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 to approve the regular minutes from April 18th, and we'll table well, I'll entertain a motion to table
Table the
the executive
motion to
session.
approve.
All right, so 3-0 to table the executive session minutes. Okay. Our next meeting will be on June 5th. Unless there's any other business that needs to come before the commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Rather quickly
Yeah, I did.
for what I thought it would not.
Well, Liz wasn't here. Just kidding.